Well, a new study shows housing programs for youth in Calgary are working even when mental health and addiction issues are factors. The report's co-author, Ron Kneebone from the U of C School of Public Policy, joins us this morning. Thanks for taking time for us, Ron. Appreciate it. And if we can just start with talking about the types of programs that we're talking about in the study.
Well, we're talking about programs for youth. And these are youth who have found themselves homeless because of family breakup, usually. They have a lot of challenges, and the programs that the housing programs that have been set up are designed to help them reestablish housing. And because they're young people, we're doing more than simply putting them in housing. We're also providing them with information and training on how to set up a budget, how to establish and maintain effective personal relationships, basically how to become an adult, which is something they haven't done because they're really young people who basically become homeless because the families have abandoned them quite often.
Right. Ron, how is success measured, and what did you find in the study?
Well, one of the unique things about this study is that we've been able to observe people, youth, put into housing programs over a very long period of time. And that allows for a different level of success than we can observe in shorter studies. So, for example, we've been able to examine whether someone put into a housing program is successful, not only for staying within the housing program itself, but more importantly, whether they've graduated and they've reestablished housing all on their own, completely independently, which of course is the gold standard, is what we're looking for. We want people to stand on their own 2 feet without case management. And our study, because we looked at people for such a long period of time, was able to establish what percentage were able to do that.
And so this data from 2012 to 2018, obviously now 2025, what kind of changes have we seen since then, and how do you think the outcomes would fare now?
Well, that's a good question, because we stopped in 2018 mainly because we wanted to avoid the effects of COVID on these programs, and they did have an effect. And so what's happened since, I can't tell you too much about it, but what I can say is that because we were able to show these programs have been so successful as they were run between 2012 and 2018, the Calgary Homeless Foundation and other agencies have continued to operate the programs in this way. And so I expect the level of successes remain the same.
Yeah, and just about out of time, Ron, but if I were able to give you the magic wand, was there any piece in there that policy-wise that you think could be done to improve things even better than the results were?
The big secret to all this is to provide people with help without any preconditions. And by that I mean the most important thing that these kids need is someone to allow them to be housed, and then let them, within a housing atmosphere, let them deal with their problems, whether it's drug addiction or mental health issues, or simply not understanding how to establish a family relationship. Put them in housing, let them figure these things out. In the past, we often said, no, you have to figure these things out before we give housing. By reversing it, that's the secret to success.
Okay, and obviously what we're doing right now seems to be working. Very much appreciate your time this morning, Ron. That is Ron Kneebone from the U of C School of Public Policy.
You're welcome.
Thanks.